Hello lovelies, welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you guys back here to the channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this channel inspired bag. It's a mini cute bag. You can make it in a bigger size and you can even make it in a smaller size. So if this is something you'd like to see, stay tuned to the channel and let's go straight into the tutorial of the day. So guys, the measurement I am using is the measurement of an A4 paper, and A4 paper is around 12 inches by 8 inches. Yes, that's the measurement of an A4 paper. You can just get an A4 paper and draft out your pattern, but in case you don't have an A4 paper, you could just use 12 by 8 inches. Okay, so I went ahead and folded it into two. So what I am doing right here is I am measuring out 2 inches, which is going to be serving as our anchor. Okay, so I'm measuring out 2 by 2 inches from one open end. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect the lines. Then I am now going to proceed to the other part of the bag. Okay, so after I was done with drawing out that line, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to measure that same 2 inches on the top open end, so that I will know what is left for me. Okay, so this is just a strategic something. Okay, so I'm just measuring 2 inches here, then I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line. So it means that 2 inches that I draw is for the side. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to measure is another 2 inches, which is going to be serving as the spacement for the handle. Okay, it's going to be serving as the spacement for the handle. The handle, I want it to be 1 inches in width, so I'm going to be putting it in the middle of that 2 inches. So whatever you have left is what you'll be coming down by ½ inches with. I just hope you understand what I'm saying. You come in by first inches first, 2 inches first, sorry. Then you come in by another 2 inches. Whatever is left from that second 2 inches is what you are going to be coming down by ½ inches. I just hope you understand what I'm saying. So instead of making it a straight line, you could just slantly slide it so that it will not come out straight. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. So you cut out this ½ inches and you cut out that bottom 2 inches. Okay, so I just hope you understand my explanation. Even if you don't, you could just come back and watch it again. So after you cut it, this is what it will look like. Now you go in by ½ inches from this open end. Okay, you go in by ½ inches from this open end, then you make your slant, then you also cut it out, because the bag is not a square bag, it is actually a slightly slant bag. So you need to just cut this one out like this, so that at the end of the day you are going to be having exactly what it looks like. So when you open your paper, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so now you are now going to measure from this folded end to that 2 inches point. Anything you have is what you are going to cut out for your handle. Okay, so I have 3 inches. When I measured mine, I had 3 inches. Okay, I hope you understand what I am saying. I'm just trying to calculate it again so that you understand. So the actual length is determined by you. So I'm using 6 inches for the overall length. Okay, so this paper I'm cutting out 6 inches. You know the paper is on fold and we got 3 inches. Okay, so it means you'll be cutting out 6 inches wide or 3 inches on fold. Okay, so after you cut it, then you just use your ruler to connect your lines, then you cut off that excess. you cut it off. I'm not forwarding this so that I want you guys to understand, and that's why the video is actually kind of long. I'm so sorry, this is longer than our regular video on the channel, but I want to explain it in such a way that even a beginner can actually understand. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using my free hand to just draft out a curve at one open end on the top corner. I'm just using my free hand to just make a curve. So if you have a curve ruler, you could use your curve ruler, but if you don't have a curve ruler, you could just use your hand to make a curve. Make sure it is very curvy, because you want it to come out like a round. So when you are done with that, you're going to go ahead and follow that your curve, and you'll be measuring 1 inches. Remember, I said from the beginning that the width of the handle is 1 inch, so the spacement we left is 1 inch spacement. So you are going to be using your pencil or your biro or anything that you're using to draft out your pattern to just make this curve like this. Okay, I just hope you're seeing what I am doing. Okay, so you trace it out, then you go ahead and use your scissors to cut it out. Make sure it is very, very curvy. Okay, make sure it's very, very curvy. So you go ahead and use your scissors to just trace out what you've cut. Okay, you go ahead and trace it out like this way. You see I'm tracing it out like that. So make sure you're following the curve that you just made, so that it will not deform. So you go ahead and cut this out on another paper, then you now cut it out on the interfacing that you want to use. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and do now is to put that aside, then you start working on the flap. So you measure your opening to confirm the measurements you have, so that you not go and cut something that is too small or too big. So my opening was around 3.5 inches, so that is what I am measuring on this paper. Then I am now going to cut it out, then I will now make a curve at one side. So the length is determined by you, but I'm actually using 5 inches in length, so that when I am done with all the curving and the shaping and I sew it, it will fit in just right. Okay, so just watch what I am doing so that you will understand. So guys, after we're done with all our cutting, the next thing we're going to be going ahead and do is to cut it out on our interfacing. So I'm using a leather padding here. You can use a very light Mako for this project. If not, if you are not using an industrial machine, it will actually stress you out. But if you are using a leather padding is just a leather that is slightly thicker than the actual leather you are using. Not a two-faced, I'm not using a two-faced leather here, but you can also use a two-faced leather. But two-faced leather is going to stress you out, most especially if you are using a blackhead machine. But if you are using an industrial machine, you can use your Mako, you can use your two-faced leather. But this leather is just slightly thicker than the regular leather that I use to make my luxury bags. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using for the interfacing. Then for the handle, I am using a Mako on one side and my chipboard on the other side. This is because I want it to be slightly bulky. Okay, this is because I want it to be slightly bulky. Now for the inside divider, I am just doing this so that you guys will see it, so that you will understand. Remember, we removed half inches from the 2 inches from our pattern, then we made a slant. So I went ahead and removed that half inches, then I'll just connect it to the bottom like this. I'll connect it to this other side. Then you are going to measure this middle box. So what you have is what you are going to be cutting. That is going to be serving as your inside divider. So I have 7 and 2 lines. I'm just going to be using my pencil to just make the marking on my tape so that I will not forget. Then I also have 5.5 inches. Remember, we remove half inches from that top, so I have 5.5 inches. So I'm going to be cutting out a fabric that is 7.2 lines by 11 inches. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to just start gumming my work. This is actually a gum work because of the leather padding I'm using. But if you are using a foam, you don't have to gum it. All you need to do is to just use your foam and sew it on your sewing machine. Okay, you just sew your patterns on your sewing machine. Remember, this is a Chanel inspired bag. I'm just using a colorful leather, but if you are using a plain leather, then you don't have to use your gum, because all you need to do is to just use a foam and draft out your pattern. So when I was done putting gum, I arranged it nicely. Then I am now going to be cutting out all the excess on the end sides. So the only place I'm not going to cut off the excess is on the top. The reason is because we are going to be folding it inwards to make it smooth. So I'm just leaving half inches on the top. Okay, I'm just leaving half inches on the top, then I'm going to fold it. So all the gum work I'm going to be showing now, I'm just going to be showing one part of the work, then I'll be doing the remaining part off camera, because this video is already too long and I don't want it to be longer than this. Okay, so you just trim off all the excess on all the sides, then you fold in the top like this, so that it will have neat edges when you are sewing. So you go ahead and put your lining and you go ahead and do the other pieces. So just keep watching so that you see how I went about the remaining pieces of the bag. with the gummy. Now what is left is to join the panels together. So I'm going to be joining the flap together, and I'm going to be joining the handle together. You know, we have 4 pieces of the handle, so we need to make them 2, and we have 2 pieces of the flap, so we need to make them turn them into 1. So guys, thank you guys for tuning into the channel once again. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I love you and God bless you. I do not take you guys for granted. I love you. Thank you very much for all your likes, for your comments. You are amazing. I love you so much. And if you are just tuning into the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcome to this amazing channel. In this channel, I teach bag making tutorials, everything bag making, from travel bags to lunch bags, padded bags, luxury bags, Ankara bags, office bags, party bags, anything bag, as long as it's bag, tote bags, student bag, as long as it's bag, then this channel is all about that. So if you are a fashion lover just like me, or you are a bag lover just like me, or you just want to venture into the industry and you don't know where to start from, then this channel is for you. So do well to click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post any new tutorials. And the good news is subscription is absolutely free, because I know you will learn 1 or 2 from this channel, because we have many more amazing tutorials to show you guys, and we have many more amazing tutorials already on the channel that I'm sure you will learn 1 or 2 for. So please join the community by clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post in new tutorials like this. And if you are watching and you learned 1 or 2 from this tutorial, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It actually means a lot to me. It tells YouTube that we are doing something good here, and it will share the channel to other people who are looking for who are looking for a channel that will teach them bag making just like this. And don't forget to say something nice in the comment section if you learned 1 or 2, and don't forget to ask any question. Feel free to drop all your questions in the comment section as well. So this is just me arranging the handle nicely so that one way will not be bigger than the other. So after we are done with joining everything together, now it's time to go to our sewing machine to stitch. So that's how you're going to be following when you are stitching. Okay, you just stitch it following the way my hand is going. So after you're done stitching, this is what it looks like. I decided to use a different color thread so that you be able to see the stitches. So if you're wondering the needle I'm using, I am using a size 23 needle, because I'm using a blackhead machine, so I have to use a bulky needle so that it will sew without actually having to mess my work up. So this is how it's going to look like when you are done stitching. This is how the inside panel is going to be. Now what you're going to go ahead and do is to sew your 2 layers. Please don't sew this inside panel, because I made a mistake. I sewed the inside panel like this and it gave me a lot of problems, so I had to remove it. Okay, so you just sew the 2 panels. You can decide to put an overlay, but I skipped that. That was why I threw that plain leather away. So after you're done with that, you go ahead and start fixing your handle and your what's it called, your flap. Okay, there's no particular measurement for the flap. I did not measure it. I just put it in a way that I am sure is good enough, then I just put it. But you can do 1 inches, you can do 1.5 inches, you can do 2 inches if you are a perfectionist. But if you're not a perfectionist just like me, just arrange it anyhow. Anyhow, just put that and sew it. So you can use your super glue to hold it in place so that it will not move around when you are sewing on your sewing machine. Now for the handle placement, remember we are using 1/2 inches from this mid part. Okay, so I am measuring 1/2 inches and I'm using that as a guide. Then I'll go ahead and stitch it. Okay, you know we stitched it before, so we will lose it and put our handle, then we stitch it. So when you are done, this is what it should look like. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and do now is to go and sew the 2 sides. Okay, now this is where that our inside piece come in. Okay, this is where I told you I removed it. Okay, so you are going to put your inside piece this way, making sure it is under the 1/2 inches. Then you are going to arrange it nicely, then you stitch it on both ends like this. So when you are done stitching, you go ahead and stitch the bottom angle. Okay, so we are coming to the end of this tutorial already. This tutorial, the bag actually came out nice. It's nobody's work, but I love the way it came out, guys. So please, while turning your bag inside out, be careful, okay? Be careful, because any mistake here can damage your work and you have to start from the beginning again. So you have to be very, very careful. Take your time to turn it inside out. It's not as fast as you are seeing it like this. So it took me a lot of time to actually bring it out, because we are using a padding for this work. Had it been is just foam, it would have just been easy. So please take your time while bringing out your work inside out, so that you will not damage your work, and you will not rumple the interfacing that you put inside. So guys, having said that, so you go ahead and put the final touches, which is the lock that you want to use. So you can decide to put a long strap to this, but I decided not to put a long strap because the bag is just fine the way it is. It is not a shoulder bag. It's just a bag that you carry to the party. It's just a party bag, guys. So you fold in the edges like this so that you'll be able to get your work very well. So having said that, this is basically everything about the tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned one or two from this tutorial. I hope you say something nice in the comment section, and most importantly, I hope you give me a thumbs up. It actually means a lot to me, guys, and I hope you try this bag out. I hope it is well detailed and well explained. I hope you share this channel to your loved ones and to other social media platforms that you are using. And I hope you say something nice in the comment section. Please subscribe if you've not, and see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye for now.